Right then folks, welcome back. Welcome to Wallasey. Learned my lesson, calling it Liverpool, the Mersey, Birkenhead. Welcome to Wallasey. A mark known locally as the Derby Pools. A new mark to me, a new venue. So Brooksy mentioned it, says yeah, get yourself down there and give it a go. A very, very leisurely setup. We've probably been fishing for maybe nearly an hour. Put it this way, the tide, I set up right on the tide line and you can see where the water is. I think we're going to move. I'm not sure I've got it quite right because we've still got about 2 hours to low water and well, I think this pool in front of us is going to be empty. As you can see, well, you might be able to see, you should be able to see there, but certainly that way, the rock channel, there's a couple of lads over fishing over there. Could have give that a go, to be honest. I don't know what I'm doing. You've probably gathered by now. So yeah, I wanted to come and try out a new mark. When we got here, you still would have had to wade across. I have got my waders in the van, but at the same time, I've always said it's quite a notorious mark, that is. In fact, there was a video online the other day, I think Hakan put one on, the master fisherman, on his Facebook page, whether it was his video or somebody else's, of somebody walking around on there a good couple of hours after low water, and was already cut off, and I think they ended up having to wade back across up to the waist or up to the chest, and the Coast Guard did get called for them. It was touch and go whether they were stranded and needed rescuing, and I think they got a bit of a lesson off the boys at the RNLI when they got back to shore, checked over and stuff like that. But yeah, luckily nothing more serious than that. Really fancy that, but I am going to go with somebody local, somebody who knows what they're doing and has fished it before for my first time over there. Was that gull stood up then, or is it landed and swimming? Let me pan you around, look, you can hopefully see what I mean. So you can see all the little, oh no you can't, yeah you can now. Hopefully you can see all the little ribs, and as you look out, as the wind, so the wind's blowing left to right up the shore, you can see where all the little ribs are. Now in front of me, and I have cast that way, I can't see them, but whether that's just because I'm on the wrong side of the sun this way or not. So I think I am still in enough water to be fishing, but yeah, you can quite clearly make out the little ribs and the little pools. So we're probably going to fish these baits out and then move 200 or 300 yards up that way. It's just tapping away that. The right hand rod, I'm just wrapping stuff up, ready to move. As you can see, the water, I mean, we're definitely going to lose the water. Nobody can convince me otherwise. We are definitely going to lose the water in this spot. But I just had a definite knock on the right hand rod, so it's time to do a bit of filming, get everything wrapped up and put away. Hopefully that bite develops into something. Now we haven't got long on this mark, so I've got even less time if we're going to sit here and wait for bites, so I think it's time to bring this one in. Oh, I can see some weed out there already on the line. That's just dropped off. Oh yeah, that seagull out there is definitely walking up and down the beach, up and down the water. So it's time to get moved. Hey, yeah, buddy. Tell you what, for a little tiny little bite, that ain't a bad little place. That I'll take that all day long. Right, well. There we go, folks. First place of the season, first one of the year. Not a bad little fish to start off, but I'm sure there are much bigger ones out there. So we'll get him back. Safe hands. Yeah, we'll get him back. We'll get moved up, get a bit more water in front of us. Hopefully we'll go and find his big brother. All right then, let's see if we can get a nice little release video, shall we? Off he goes. Just gone and sat all the way down there. I see him, just under the waves. Sat in that little pool. in probably about 4 inches of water, no less. Right there. Just goes to show you don't need deep water. Well, you can see from behind me, look, just how little water there is. But yeah, you don't need deep water to catch fish. Having said that, we are going to head up, further away from the shore. God, that's a walk. And we're going to find some deeper water. Like I say, hopefully we can find some better fish. Right, we have moved. Yeah, we've moved about 200 yards. I think if I was to come again, I'd want to walk a lot further. Probably out past that little point on the other side, all the way down onto the tip of here. These are some noisy buggers. Anyway, yeah, I think I'd want to walk a bit further, but we have only got like an hour and a quarter left till low water. Instantly, if I bring you down here, these little sort of groins are a lot deeper. So you've just watched that other place swim off. These go a lot deeper, a lot quicker. So I think there's a lot more water out there. I can't see any more ripples where it looks like we're going to lose water. You can see where we were fishing earlier down there. It's lost a lot of water, and them gulls are definitely just walking. Those ones are swimming, but they might just be being lazy. Those are definitely walking. And that is where we've got to walk all the way back to, all the way up there, which looks quite close from here in this view, but then when you zoom out, it's a fair old walk. He's really struggling in that thing. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the camera, but it sounds like that motor's really struggling. It sounds like it's trying to lift me up there. Anyway, that's us all set up. It sounds like I'm not going to have such a peaceful afternoon after all. But, oh, and by the way, I found this on my travels. The butt section for a Sonic SKS. I don't know how long it's been in the water, it's full of sand. But I have posted on the Merseyside group if anybody's lost one. Hopefully somebody gets back to me pretty quickly and I can leave it somewhere for them to collect. But yeah, if not, and you happen to have lost the Sonic butt section, I've got one going spare. Anyway, we are set up. We're fishing again. I shall bring you back when we get a bit of action. Well, I think we definitely made the right decision to move. I mean, as you can probably see behind me, next to no water left there now. And whilst we did have a nice place in shallow water, I think that for me is a little too shallow. The good news is we are bang on low water. I can't tell where I've set the camera up. You can probably see we've lost another good 20 foot in front of us. Probably what, a foot or two of water since we set up. But yeah, we are on low water. Now the question is, how long do we fish it? How long do we fish it back home? Like I said, I walked down here 3 hours before low water. And you can't see them from here. This is the dangerous thing. This is why marks like this shouldn't be fished lightly. I'll get some footage in a second on my phone, but if you look back now, it looks like a nice flat beach all the way back to the prom. It's not. There are gullies, there's little inlets, outlets, streams everywhere. The last thing you want to do is fish too long and then find, I mean, like I say, we got down here 3 hours before low water. So I know, shoes off, or even sacrifice the shoes because I've got my Crocs in the van, you could plod across it. Do you want to do that? Do you want to risk that? Bearing in mind that the tide will be coming in. If the tide goes under the sand, it gets soft and you get stuck, even up to, you know, your shins, and you get stuck in that water, it ain't going to be long before it's up and around your whatsits. The Coast Guard aren't going to be happy with you. I think maximum 2 hours after low water. 2 hours after low water, you want to be on your toes and off up the beach. To be honest, if bites don't start coming on an hour into the flood, we'll probably wrap up and head back to the van and have a mosey on home. If it's fishing well and things change drastically in the flood, we'll fish it to 2 hours, and then 2 hours after high water, we will be on our way out of here. So yeah, it's 6 o'clock now. The very latest, we'll be back at the van for 8. All right, folks, well, so far, not a great deal to show for stuff. The tide is pushing in. See, it's filled that channel nicely, or filling that channel nicely. We're on fish baits. We've used a full wrap of blacks. Got fish baits now on both rods. I'll just show you, making some little strips, herring strips at the minute. We've tried bluey. I've got a mackerel to try as well. Is that a bite? So on one of the rods, on the Kiori, which has got a 2-hook clip down. In fact, I don't think I've shown you that one yet. 2-hook clip down with size, I think they're size 1/0s on there. And I've put a rolling lead on that one, just so it moves about in what little current we've got. And that one is either just starting to roll around in the current, or we might be getting an inquiry. Hopefully it's an inquiry, because frankly, it's been a long walk for not much action. It's been slow. Target species acquired, so I can't complain. I'm not going to complain, but it would have been good to have a few more fish on this trip. Yeah, over to Mostyn, back to Wallasey, I nearly said it, and then back home for one solitary place is a quiet session, that, but it's better than going all this way and blanking. Well, we wouldn't be fishing over this way, would we, if we didn't hear police sirens? Definitely not having a peaceful evening though. Got these bloody lot buzzing round. Got sirens all over the place. Oh, looks like a C-17 that. Here's a question for you though. Is that people out on the beach, or is there some sort of structures out there? Can't quite tell. I mean, that's people. I can see that that's people, but I'm zoomed in as far as I can. I think there's some sort of structure, but I don't know what for. A fair old way away, but yeah, let me know in the comments if you know what they are, because it's puzzling me. Well, here's me considering wrapping up, and these folks are just walking out. Pretty sure they've got fishing gear. But yeah, there's me looking at wrapping up. Turn around, somebody's walking out here to get set up, but I mean, you can see how much already the water's filled in. I mean, this is a fairly steep banking nonetheless, but like I say, once you've broke that bank, let me come down here and show you, you've probably got a good 4 foot of banking. But once you've broke that and you're up onto that bit, it is flat, 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 flat. So yeah, not sure how long they're planning on fishing for. I'll be honest, I'm tempted to wrap up and call it now. We're an hour into the flood. I've just put out the last of this wrap of blacks, and I think I'm going to call it after that, because I don't know, that wind is bloody chilly. Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody. I certainly don't want to go ripping t-shirts, but my gosh, it's dropped chilly. Now it's probably still 12 or 13 degrees, but with that wind chill, whoa, certainly not the 24 degrees it was when I walked out here. So yeah, we might be calling it quits. Now, who knows, if both of these rods kick off, I'll quite happily open another pack of blacks and sit it out, get hypothermia or whatever. But yeah, obviously they're confident. They're confident now's the right time to come and get set up. Meanwhile, I'm thinking of calling it quits. Cracking sunset. But you can see from this angle some of these gullies are starting to fill in already. Had a quick chat to the folks out there fishing. They did ask me how long I thought they'd got left on there, and I told them probably not very long, to be honest. That was why I was packing up, but like I say, it looks nice and straight shoot back, but you can just start to see a line in the sand. Just see it change of colour. This is what lies behind that piece of sand. It doesn't look too bad, but you can see here, like I say, still full of water from earlier on. It hasn't emptied out completely. I was hoping it would have done, but now I don't mind getting wet feet on my way home, so I'm just going to go straight across it. If I get a booty, I get a booty. But if you look at how soft this sand is, you can well imagine that once the water gets in behind here and starts filling in, that sand's going to get even softer. And if I walk down and into here, I'm going to try and find the shallowest bit. I mean, look at that, that's probably, you probably can't tell in the camera, but I'd say that's probably a good foot, 18 inches deep, that little pool. But yeah, we're going to come across to this bit. But now I'm down and in the bottom of here, to give you some perspective, let me turn back round. There you go. I'd say that's probably 3-4 foot at its peak. If I lift the camera up, see those guys still down there fishing, all the way down there. Like I say, they'll get a cracking view of the sunset, but let me try and find a fairly shallow way across here. I don't think there is one. I'm probably going to get wet feet. There we go, wet feet. Never mind, we're through. We ain't got much further to the van. And just like that, we are safely back in the van, in front of what looks like is going to be an absolute lovely sunset. But yeah, let me know in the comments, if you fish here, just how long you can stay out and fish the Derby pools, because yeah, the lads and lass that I was talking to are still out there fishing. Maybe there's another way back. Maybe if you come back to as you're walking back to shore, come back on your right hand side and up that beach, maybe that's a straighter walk back, I don't know. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't have wanted to be out there any longer on my first session. But like I say, people are still walking out there, them folk are still out there fishing. So maybe I've just come off too soon, but I'm back in the van and safe. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and until next time, take care and tight lines.